The mail just came and I'm very excited. Every year I try to focus on getting some more perennials, and this is a perennial vegetable called a purple tree collard. Let me show you what it is and I'll explain a little bit about them as I get these potted up. Just arrived. I ordered 3 cuttings. Let's take a peek at them. Okay, well, it looks like there might be more than 3. They're all wrapped up. And when I'm unwrapping them, I'm noticing that there are definitely more than 3, and they're freshly cut, so I think they got them in the mail really promptly, which is awesome. And it looks like I've got 5 cuttings, so that's really nice. Now the main concern I have is that I won't actually get one to root. So 5 gives me 2 more chances, so that's awesome. I really appreciate them giving me more than I expected. I'm going to place them in a good sized pot because it's only February, so they're going to be in here for a while before they're able to be transplanted outside. But I'm spraying off a couple spiders that I saw before I washed them really well, and then let them dry on the counter before I'm going to be disinfecting them. For the life of me, I cannot find a spray bottle, so I'm using just a little cup to dump some vinegar in there, and then I'm going to swish it around. Okay, this is too hard. I'm going to put the camera down and actually do it properly. All right, they're ready to go. I'm just going to let them air dry. Okay, step 1, filling up these pots with some soil. I always like to tap the pot down in the container so that the soil can settle down and I can fill it up to wherever I want it to be. Now, from what I've read, tree collards can get quite tall. That's how they got the name tree collards. And what you do is you pick the leaves, and as it continues to grow, you just keep picking, and it ends up with like a top of foliage. And then I read one place that you should cut them down to about a foot above the ground a couple times a year. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, so I'm going to keep doing some research on them. But my main concern for them from my area is slug damage. They are one of the Brassica family plants, and we have a million slugs around here, so I'm not sure how well these will go long term here. But they're supposed to last for years. I think they'll be a good addition if I can just deal with the slugs. We do have ducks, and so I was thinking about making a pen area where I plant them. I don't think the ducks will damage the plants like the chickens would, so they would be slug patrol while these little guys are getting up and established. Now, I did read that you don't have to use rooting powder, but we had it on hand, so I thought might as well give them the best chance possible. So I'm just cutting the end at an angle just to have the freshest part possible. And then where the leaves were, there's like little nodes, and each of those spaces are where roots could grow. So I want to get a few of those down into the soil. I'm just taking each of them and dipping it down into the rooting powder so that I can cover the bottom inch or so, just like that. Now I'm poking my finger down inside of the pot just to make a hole. I don't want the powder on the plant to be rubbing off in the dirt as it's making its way down into the soil. Now I'm just pressing the soil firmly around the base of the cutting and trying to get it kind of more upright. Now these are perennials in zones 8 or 9. So if you live somewhere colder, the suggestion would be to put them in the greenhouse or take cuttings at the end of the season that you can root inside and have them growing so that in the spring you can put them back outside again. And then when planting out in the spring, they do like full sun and well-drained fertile soil. They do tolerate heat better than a cabbage or a broccoli. There are several different types of tree collards. I picked the red one because it's supposed to be similar to a red cabbage, which is one of my favorite. In the summer, the leaves will be green, and then as it gets cold in the fall and winter, they'll turn a purple color, and they'll get sweeter, just like regular cabbage and broccoli get sweeter when it starts to cool down. The soil we planted these cuttings in is pretty damp, but we're still giving them a nice drink of water. I did put a baggie on top of them to help keep it humid. One of them is living under my grow light, and the other 4 are in the living room in a window. I have been watering them from the bottom, and I've also taken off the baggies a couple times and given them a nice mist. It has been 9 days since I've planted these cuttings, and I definitely see some new growth on this one, quite a bit actually. In just 9 days, it seems pretty crazy. And then I'm just going to give it a mist before I put the little plastic bag back on top. Let's take a peek at the other ones and see if it looks like there is much happening. Okay, definitely new growth on this one as well. And this one, there's definitely growth on it too. It's small, but there were some smaller ones. Okay, this one looks like it also has more foliage than it had when I first planted it. It's going to be a little bit on the crooked side, but that's okay. The one in my room underneath the grow light does not look as good as these out here, so I might end up moving it. The nursery that I bought this from is located in California. I will leave a link down to them below. They have several different varieties of tree collards, and they have some other plants. And they just have a nice little variety of plants that may or may not be perennial for your zone. If you want to check them out, I will leave a link to their website down in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and if you like home and gardens sort of content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Bye.